The iPod Touch. It's a great product, we love it, and it's seen some major changes over the years. The 4th gen iPod is one of my favorite Apple products. Beautiful design, brushed aluminum finish. However, it has its downsides, and with the 5th gen, as we all know, it saw a radical redesign. All aluminum enclosure, even the little loop so you could have it around your wrist. I loved it. It was one of my first Apple products as a kid, and there were so many things Apple got right with it. So today, I want to take a trip down memory lane and look at one of, if not the earliest prototypes of an iPod Touch 5th generation. The iPod came in a slew of colors, and unfortunately, I do not even have my own from back in the day. So I don't have a normal one to show, but I do have this Proto one. I am in the process of trying to get it fixed. However, this prototype has a very weird configuration for the Lightning connector, which makes it a little problematic to charge or do any kind of data sync with. Although there are a number of exterior and cosmetic differences with the iPod that I figure I can show off today. Most obviously, if we look at the back, there is a massive QR code on the back with the serial number and the revision. Interestingly enough, this is not common on many Apple prototypes. I have only seen an asset tag done in this style on certain iPod Touch 5th generations, as well as a couple iPhone 5Cs. We even have the original factory sticker, which matches this configuration information. We've got the serial number, the unit number, 32 gigabytes. It's an N78 Touch 5th Gen Proto 1 C2 G5, and then more numbers. Interestingly, while it's a little hard to show off on camera, if we look at the very back, it does have designed in Apple California text and placeholder FCC info. It's model number A1234, FCC ID BCG E1234. Interestingly, the serial number on it almost seems to be completely random. It's R8 2014 12 FC1, completely different than the device's actual serial number and seemingly random. We even have laser alignment notches that machines would have used to test prior to engraving, likely the same one as the rest of the back. Also of note, the camera ring is black in color, which does not match the silver housing. If we turn over to the front of the device, it looks identical to its production counterpart. If we go to the side, again, identical. Interestingly, it does have a dent. It is, although not severe, so I doubt this was a drop test unit. More than likely, it was just damaged by an engineer during testing or perhaps after testing. If we flip to the other side, we do get an actual asset tag on the side, which says the serial number, it's got a QR code, as well as the revision of device. Interestingly enough, it's very uncommon to see an asset tag on the side like this, as well as this rear engraving. Usually, devices will only do one or the other, not both, which I think this has to do with some of the oddities of Apple during this sort of transitional device era, because on like the iPod Touch 4th, this one is blank. However, usually where it would have been, you know, the gigabyte indicator, it would say EVT, DVT, PVT, whatever. And they had been doing that since the 1st gen iPod Touch. So I think this was when Apple was sort of transitioning from doing asset tags on the back to more QR code asset tags, eventually on the side, but still trialing it out. As for other noticeable hardware differences, if we look on the bottom, there's actually 2 rows of holes for the speaker cutout, which is again unique to this Proto 1 device. As the astute of you among us would have noticed, there is no connector for the loop, for the little, dangly tether boy. So maybe that's why it was dropped. Now, I will, to satiate some curiosity, attempt to plug it in with the Conzi. Unfortunately, if we plug it in the normal way, we get nothing. Now, if we do look to reverse the connector, it will sometimes, at the very least, give us a gear logo. Now, unfortunately and unsurprisingly, it's not doing anything. This era of Apple was seemingly doing something very weird with Lightning connectors in their infancy and having them wired different than on production counterparts. I've even seen this with a EVT iPhone 5S prototype I have that requires the Lightning connector to be flipped in an incorrect orientation for data transfer to work. This is likely due to the fact Apple wasn't super certain if they wanted Lightning to be bidirectional at the time, as well as the actual data pinouts, which can be seen on little breadboard style connectors from, I believe, 2012 or 2013 Apple, testing the very, very earliest part of the Lightning connector. Now, I will look to fix this, although it will likely require some rewiring of the connector inside, as well as potentially a replacement battery, but I hope this is a cool look at a awesome, early, wildly different Proto 1 iPod Touch 5th generation, and stay tuned for more iPod content. Like and subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment down below.